Today we're going to learn how to upgrade D3 Unix, specifically here D3 Linux, from a 9.2 system to 10.3.2. 10.3.2 has the limitation that it has to be on Red Hat 8, so I will have to use save and restore process in order to do this upgrade. I cannot do an upgrade with the data files in place. So we will demonstrate how simple it is to do that. First of all, I have set up a device to do the save, and that's device number 1 here. You can do a list device to see what I called it. And we'll just do a file save. No options. We'll take all the default settings. When you're doing it, you may want to verify. It's kind of a personal preference. Might save you some time in the long run, but since we're doing a save and restore from one machine to another, there's really no need to go through the extra time. So now I'll just log back in again and copy that file using SCP over to the other machine, putting it in its temp directory. I've got to put my password in here. And there we have it. Now we'll switch over to the other machine. We are on our Red Hat 8 box, and we have successfully copied the machine, our file save tape device over to this machine. Also, I have created a logical volume on this machine for use 64 gigs in size for the D3 database, and I've also downloaded from the Rocket website the portal the 10.3.2 version of D3, and we will untar it here into my temp directory. And there we go. And then all we need to do is simply run the setup. Now, since I've already installed it, it doesn't do the dependency check, but we went through that quickly instead. But I do need to go in and make changes here. We do not want it to use the default internal disk, so we need to delete that. Yes, and then use the existing partition that we showed before. Come down here and use that. So now we've got our disk all set up. Everything else here looks the way we'd like it. So we exit out of here back to the installation menu, go into the and go ahead and have it installed. So it has successfully installed. It went through rather quickly, but you can see here that it did successfully install D3. So now we will simply boot D3 and load abs. Before we do that, though, we do want to add our tape device. So let's pick 0, come down here, and just change this one here to TMP file save, since that's where we put it. And just for consistency's sake, we'll update the device number. Then we'll go ahead and boot again. Load abs this time. Take 0, continue. And files, yes. Answer all the questions it asks. This is going to be device 1 that we're going to restore from the default dataset tape, not our file save yet. We're going to use that. No, I don't want to do that. Just take the default options and note each one of those questions. No incremental transaction tapes. Creating the index takes a little bit of time here to boot. So some other considerations that we want to do after we finish this process, that you'll want to do rather, is you'll want to, any flash compile any programs that you had flash compiled before. That will need to be redone because there's incompatibilities between the older 9X release and this new 10.3. And that's true of any of the 10 releases from the 9X releases. So now that we've got this here, we're now going to restore our data from our older system, set up our term type here. And since we've already set the device, we know it's device number 2. We can list device just to make sure that it is correct. And we are attached to it. And we'll just do a restore dash accounts. And it goes through and restores any accounts that are not in collision with anything that we've put on, since we've updated things like the SQL account and the DM account. So you can see we've got our default plus the few extra accounts that we had on the other system. So now the other thing that I like to do is I like to restore the old DM account. It's not that big. So I'm going to do an account restore dm.old from the DM account. Nope. And we have that. That way I can copy things like the users file. So all my users, I don't have to go through all the pain of setting all that up again. I can copy that over. Just users. And same thing with the TCL stack, because I am attached to my TCL stack. I don't know if you guys are or not, but I'm attached to mine, so I copy it over as well. Now you can also do other files as well. That's why I put the DM old account out there, so in case you have things like cold start macros or different things that you might have in your DM account that you've put there over the years or whatever. So it's there. You can copy them over to the new DM account, so it's easy, convenient. I do not use the O option on my copy because I don't really care about the DM TCL stack, but I do have my stack there that did get copied. So the other thing that you want to do is update the MDs of all the accounts. And for instance, I don't know. I think this is one of the names of the accounts. But you want to make sure you do all your accounts, update all of those. And then, as I said before, reflash any compiles, activate the system, and you should be good to go.